Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'd like to talk a little bit about this guitar because I do get asked about it quite often. Now essentially it's a Schecter Sun Valley Super Shredder. However, it has been modified significantly. So basically the guitar comes standard with the Sustainiac pickup, which is first of all one of the great things about this guitar. I've had the bridge pickup replaced with a Damasio Evolution, which is something that I usually replace in most of my guitars. But most notably about this guitar is the fact that it's got the Evertune Bridge. Now, you can see that there. So it originally came with a Floyd Rose style tremolo, which was fine, but I do have, most of my other guitars have Floyd, so I wanted something a little bit different, something that I could use particularly for recording, which was much more stable in regards to tuning and staying in tune, more importantly. So the great thing with an Evertune Bridge is that, in fact, I don't even know how it works, some sort of voodoo magic, but essentially it's some kind of system of pulleys and springs that basically keep the tension on the guitar strings, and it just literally does not go out of tune. I can rock up to a gig with this guitar and pull it out of the case and it will be still in tune from the last gig. I've even done fly dates or fly gigs where I've flown overseas or interstate, pulled the guitar out at sound check and the guitar is still in tune. So it's quite remarkable how it actually works. Now, I'll just show you a couple of little things. So I often get asked, well, how do you go about bending strings? And you can actually set the tension so that you can actually bend. So if you have a listen here, you can see that I can still bend, I can still use vibrato on the actual strings. But that all depends on how you actually set up the machine heads. So let's take, for example, the G string here. Now, you're able to hear me bending the string there. However, if you can see me turning the machine head, but you can't hear it actually reducing in pitch. Now check this out. As I bend, it's staying perfectly in tune, even though I'm bending quite significantly. So that's all to do with how the tension is set on the guitar. So if you're playing rhythm parts and you're recording, then typically you could set it up so that there is no bend or play in the actual strings at all. So that essentially everything will be perfectly in tune when you're playing rhythm parts. So you could multi-track guitar parts without having to retune in between each take, because every single take will be in exactly the same pitch or same tuning. So when I'm playing live though, I do want to be able to bend the strings. So I do tune them so that now you'll hear as I tune up, it gets to a point where it exceeds the threshold of the tuning and it will go sharp, and then I just wind it back a little bit and then it returns back to pitch. So have a listen. So now that's in the bending mode. So essentially, so I can still play quite naturally. There's, it doesn't feel weird to play at all. It does get a little bit, take a little bit of getting used to in terms of doing things like double stops, where previously with a Floyd Rose you get the string tensions bending at different kind of rates to each other, whereas with this you just get used to where the actual pitches are. So that's basically how it works. Now, I get asked sometimes if you can do, say, drop D tuning, and you most certainly can. However, there's a slightly different way that I would normally set this up. So I would actually tune it so that it's in tune at the drop D position. In fact, let's go through that process. Okay, so first of all, the Evertune comes with this special tuning key. and I'm not sure what the actual gauge of the key is, but however, you do not want to lose this because from what I understand, they're quite expensive. If I was to have any critique about the Evertune, is that the tuning system is not that accessible. In fact, if you're playing live and you do for whatever reason need to tweak something, then it is quite not tricky, but it is not like turning a fine tuner or something. It's actually a little bit more involved. So essentially what I'll do is be able to just pop the key into the little Allen key spot here, and let's just tune this down to D.
A few moments later.
So drop D, not a problem. So basically what I would do then is, if I wanted to play in concert pitch, one single turn up puts me back into concert, and then again, easily to drop D, I just So that's essentially the Evertune. So if you've never seen one before, that's basically what it is and what it does. I've had a couple of different guitars with Evertunes in the past. This is the guitar that I probably go to the most, and I actually use this one live the most, not just because of the Evertune. I really love the Sustainiac pickup. The actual the neck is just a great playing neck, and it just feels great to play. So this would probably be one of my most affordable guitars. I would say this is probably classed as a mid-range guitar before the actual retrofitting of the pickup and the bridge. However, just a great guitar. Like the actual intonation of this guitar when I first purchased it was fantastic straight out of the box. And I do own a couple of different Schecters. Funnily enough, the great thing with the Evertune is the fact, as I mentioned, that you can do a gig if you're flying. It literally doesn't go out of tune, and you don't need to reduce the tension of the strings. Now, for anyone that's flown before knows that when you're flying with a guitar, you should loosen the strings off so that you're reducing the tension on the strings. In fact, a few years ago, I did a gig in Japan, and I flew with this gem mirrored, was it a BRMR, I think it is. And I forgot to loosen the strings off on this guitar, and when I arrived in Japan, the whole bridge had been basically pulled out of its socket, and it had shattered the whole pick guard, and it was a little bit of a mess. It actually took a little bit to get it back, and to be honest, I don't think it's ever been truly as stable since that time. So I would recommend that if you are flying, that you do make sure you remember to loosen the strings off. And honestly, despite this video not being sponsored at all, I just really endorse the Evertune. They really are a great system, particularly for recording guitarists. But if you just want a guitar that is always in tune, then I couldn't recommend the Evertune highly enough. Thanks for watching. I hope that was informative. Please comment below if you've got any questions regarding the Evertune. But yeah, I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.